Hello everyone, welcome back to Used Notes, the place with the perfect science lessons, and today I'm here with the third part of the chapter, Transportation in Plants and Animals. In the previous two parts of this chapter, we had seen the transportation of blood in the human, and now we are going to see in plants in today's video. And also we'll be discussing about some other organisms. So, let's begin. Okay, we all know that our body generates some waste during the day-to-day functions, and this waste has to be removed from the body. One example of such waste is carbon dioxide, and we have learned that it is removed from the lungs during exhalation in the process of respiration. And then we have the undigested food, another example. How this is removed is from the process of digestion. Now, if you recall in the chapter of nutrition in plants and animals, we had seen that the fifth process of nutrition in animals is digestion, and over there, this waste is excreted out of the body. When our cells perform their functions, certain waste products are released. These products are toxic and hence they need to be removed from our body. The waste present in the blood has to be removed from the body, of course. The blood has to be purified. And the blood capillaries filter the blood. When the blood reaches the two kidneys, it contains both useful and harmful substances. The useful substances are taken back into the blood for further use, and the harmful substances, they are dissolved in water and removed as urine. Next, this urine goes to the urinary bladder by passing through tube-like ureters. So the kidney and the urinary bladder are linked through tube-like structures and they are called ureters. The urine is stored in the bladder and it is passed out of the urinary opening at the end of the bladder, and this opening is called urethra. The process of removal of wastes produced in the cells of living organisms is called excretion. So this is the definition of excretion. And the kidneys, ureters, bladder and the urethra form the human excretory system. Let's move on to the next slide. Product we have seen from the beginning are carbon dioxide, then we saw the waste undigested food, and we had also seen the urine. Now let's move on to the sweat. So the sweat is containing water and salts. Now in summer you might have noticed that white patches are formed on our clothes, especially in the area like the underarm. This is because the marks are formed due to the salts present in sweat. Now the sweat contains water and salt. Water evaporates, salt is left, that is the white mark. Function of the sweat is to keep the body cool. Of course, you might have noticed when you exercise, you start to sweat, and actually that is keeping you cool also, plus it is getting rid of the wastes produced. The adult human being normally passes out about 1 or 1.8 liters of urine in 24 hours. The urine consists of 95% water, 2.5% urea and 2.5% of other waste products. Let's move on to the transportation in plants. In the plant, mainly there are two things to be transported. One is the water and nutrients which are absorbed by the root. These have to be transported to the rest of the plant, all parts of the plant. And then the leaves synthesize the food, and this food has to be transported back to all parts of the plant from the leaves. Let's look at the water and nutrients from the root to the rest of the plant, how they are transported. So plants have pipe-like vessels to transport water and nutrients from the root to all parts of the plant. The vascular tissue for transport of water and nutrients in the plants is called xylem. Xylem forms continuous network of channel that connects the roots to the leaves through the stem and branches, and thus transports the water to the entire plant. So this xylem basically from the root it takes through the stem, through the branches to the leaves. Basically it takes to all parts of the plant the water and nutrients which is absorbed by the roots. And the second thing mainly to be transported in plant is the synthesized food from the leaves to the rest of the plant. So in this case the vascular tissue for transport of food in the plants is called phloem. So xylem and phloem are the two important transporters in plants. Then again there is another process in plants known as transpiration. Plants absorb mineral, nutrients and water from the soil. But all this water is not absorbed by the plant. It is not utilized by the plant. So some of the water evaporates through the stomata present on the surface of the leaves by the process of transpiration. So the functions of transpiration. One is that it helps the plant to get rid of excess water, which it doesn't need. And then second function is that the evaporation of water from leaves, it will generate a suction pull. Now the suction pull is pulling the water from the roots to great heights in taller trees. Like our houses have motors installed to take water from the tank up to the 6th floor or the 7th floor, right? Similar way, this transportation is helping in taller trees. And transpiration also cools the plant, just like our sweating. So the three functions are it helps the plant to get rid of excess water, it pulls the water up to great heights in tall trees, and it keeps the plant cool. So animals such as sponges and hydra do not possess any circulatory system. Wow, surprising. But there is a reason for this. So the water in which they live in water itself. So that water will bring food and oxygen and this enters their bodies. The water carries away waste materials and carbon dioxide as it moves out. Thus these animals do not need any fluid like the blood. Basically, that fluid called water is present all around them, so they do not need any other fluid. That water only will bring them oxygen and food that will take out waste products such as carbon dioxide. Moving on to the second fact in this slide, the way in which waste chemicals are removed from the body of animals depends on the availability of water, which of course we have seen pretty much in the previous example also. So aquatic animals like fishes excrete cell waste as ammonia, which directly gets dissolved in water. So again for them also water is surrounding them. This ammonia they secrete, for us it is urine, for them it is ammonia, and this directly dissolves in the water. For us the toxic materials are first dissolved in water and then pushed out through the ureter. For them water is already around them, so they just excrete ammonia and it gets dissolved in the water surrounding. Then again, we have some land animals like birds, lizards, snakes. Now, these animals are not having that much water. So, what they do is they just excrete a semi solid, white colored compound, semi solid, not much of liquid, like our urine. And this compound that they secrete is uric acid. The major excretory product in humans is urea in our urine.